In this lecture, we're going to configure ESLint with Visual Studio Code. Constantly running the command to check our code can be time-consuming. There's an extension available in Visual Studio Code where the process can be automated. If you're not using VSC, then that's fine. ESLint is a very popular tool. You can most likely find an extension for it for the editor you're using. If you haven't already, open your editor. On the right, we click on the Extensions tab. We're going to search for an extension called ESLint. It should be the first results. It currently has about 10 million installations. This extension is the extension we'll be installing. Click Install. This installation may take a few moments. After it has been installed, you may be asked to restart your editor. Let's do that quickly. After installing the extension, it'll work globally in any project. It'll search our project for a configuration file. If it's present, it'll automatically check our project files for errors. For example, let's open the app.js file we worked on previously. Let's attempt to trigger an error by removing the document.write statement. After doing so, we'll see a red line under the foo variable. We can hover our mouse over this to receive feedback. ESLint is throwing in the error. It's telling us that the variable is unused. It'll even tell what rule we're breaking. We didn't have to run our file through the command line to get this error. The feedback is immediate. I'll undo this change. This feedback is the benefit of installing the extension. We can immediately identify errors while we're writing code. We can take this a step further by letting ESLint auto-fix any issues it encounters. Let's enable this feature. In the menu, under Files, click on the Preferences Settings menu item. We're going to search for two specific settings. First, we'll search for a setting called Format on Save. We're going to turn this on. By turning it on, Studio Code will format the code in a file whenever we save it. It'll use a formatter to help format the code. We'll need to set the formatter text. In our case, we want ESLint to be the formatter. In the search bar, search for the setting ESLint format. We'll want to enable ESLint as the formatter by checking the box and setting the default formatter to ESLint. After doing so, we'll be able to save our code and have ESLint format our files whenever we save. One thing I recommend doing before moving on is to restart your editor. Some settings may not take effect until the editor has been restarted. In addition, at the bottom right corner, ESLint may be disabled. You may need to click on this button to enable ESLint. You should always enable ESLint before writing a single line of code. That wraps it up for this lecture. We'll continue in the next one.